Turn the lights down low and light some candles, baby, 'cause it's sexy time with two fat guys. Here is the Fairly Oddcast.
Welcome to Fairly Oddcast. I'm Adam Watts.
And I'm Mark. Hit me, baby, one more time, LaValle.
And normally we kind of save the geek news for the end, but with what's happened this week, it's got to happen right at the beginning. Like, my geek is throbbing right against my jeans. I almost have gene burns.
Definitely.
So
I have gene burns.
All right. So right into the geek news.
That's a huge geek.
So, Lucasfilm sold to Disney for $4-point-something billion. I think it's $4.07 billion.
I was gonna guess 0.03 or 4, but
Close enough.
yeah, who's arguing?
That's a lot of money,
It's a ton of money.
and a lot of people are pissed.
A lot of people are pissed.
All I keep seeing is people complaining about Disney taking over and making it all this kiddie bullshit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I can see their point because the prequel, the prequel trilogy that Lucas went back and did was so great, and Disney has definitely fucked up things like the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Well, even the first two, really.
I just go with the first one. I know
I like all four,
Right.
so.
I just like the first one, and they really fucked up the Avengers and Captain America and Thor. Those were all garbage.
Did they own Iron Man too?
They're doing Iron Man 3.
But they didn't do the first two?
I don't think they did the first two, but they may have.
But yeah, no, they definitely screwed those
Yeah,
movies
so
all up.
Disney has no idea what they're doing.
Captain America is definitely one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. So, how can this be anything but a good thing?
Yeah, it's not like they're going to re-release the original trilogy yet again with extra footage.
We're getting a new trilogy.
Exactly.
In 3 fucking years. Less than 3 years.
Well, we're getting the first movie.
And they're going to release every 2 to 3 years after that.
Well, that's all right. You
So-
can start filming them all now, really.
So, I for one think it's great. And I also have to take this time to apologize to Mr. Lucas for every bad thing I ever said about him, because he's giving all the profits from the sale to charity.
Yeah, I read that, of course. I'm sure a lot of people did, and it's pretty damn impressive. That's starting to put him up there with Gates. With here's a ton of money, charity. Enjoy.
Yeah, it won't be the full $4 billion, because stuff will have to be paid off, like the debt. There's not very much debt for Lucasfilm, but there is a little bit. So once that's cleared up, so it'd basically be all the profit.
Do you think they'll give some royalties to actors who still claim they haven't gotten?
Those movies still technically haven't made any money yet.
Ridiculous.
So I'm happy.
Any particular hopes and dreams for storylines?
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
That's what I see a lot of people. I've even read articles now of people requesting that.
I've read a lot of the books afterwards, and none of them are authorized by Lucasfilm, yet they are, because they all have to follow a certain continuity.
True, and actually, Lucas but incorporated things. I read an article today from that trilogy into the prequels, like catching lightning with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
That came from that book series, among other things. So I think if Disney's smart, that's probably where they'll go.
And even if you set it the new trilogy far enough in the future, you could throw Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford not in starring roles, but in co-starring roles.
Yeah, true, but I think the Thrawn trilogy is only like 5 years after Jedi.
That one
So-
isn't. You'd have to rewrite that one to do it, because you can't have.
Harrison Ford can't be Han Solo anymore.
No.
He's too old.
Not in the context he is for those books and stuff like that. So, that's really. I just need to get off my chest the amount of people bitching about it.
Oh yeah. Well,
When it's like all you see is like Leia's a Disney princess.
I know.
But now it's a Disney princess that kicks ass.
Exactly.
She may make out with her brother, but she still kicks ass.
They only did that once.
Dude, you make out with your sister once, and that is once enough.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. I'm happy for it. I think it'll be fine, especially because if they do that Thrawn trilogy thing, I mean, that third book ends with what? Luke and Leia having... No, well, Leia and Han having twins of their own.
Yes.
So then, bang, there's another 3 movies.
Yep.
That I'm sure they could come up with on their own quite well.
There's tons of stuff. I mean, there's hundreds of books to pull from.
Yep. I've read a few, but I think some of them were more along, like they were intertwined with the original trilogy timeline because they involved, like, Wedge and other characters that I'm not...
They don't know. They have some with after that.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole X-Wing squadron.
It's been so long. Maybe it was some of those that I read because it's been a long time since I read a Star Wars book.
Yeah, they keep the Rogue Squadron going.
Excellent. So, yeah, I mean, it really does boil down to the fact that anybody who's unhappy about it, just ask them, did you like the Avengers? And if they say no, punch them in the face because they're lying.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's only 2 bad things about the Avengers.
Exactly.
And that's the stupid pokey stick.
Yeah. Anyway, and
we know my feelings on the fucking flying aircraft carrier.
Yeah, true enough.
I know it's in the comics. I know that's what it's supposed to be, but it just seemed dumb.
You have no problem with a demigod and a guy that can turn into a green
no problem at all.
Anytime.
No problem at all. Yet I have a problem with the flying aircraft carrier that turns invisible.
Exactly.
That's the nail in my coffin.
So bring it on, I say. 2015 is too far away.
It is, but
it's kind of like when they announced the prequels. Oh yeah, we're gonna have some prequel movies in 20 years or so. Suck on that for a while.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, 2015. I mean, it's almost. We only got 2 months left of this year anyway.
It's true, yeah.
I mean, and if the Mayans are right, we're not getting.
We'll
through
never
this
get
year.
to see them anyway.
We're not getting through this year anyways. So maybe Lucas was smart. It's just like, I'll make everyone happy by saying I'm retiring and then giving it to somebody else. Just because I know everyone's going to die.
That's why all the good video games are out by November this year.
Yeah. I mean, what's the best thing to come out of Star Wars lately? It's the Clone Wars cartoon, which I don't think Lucas really oversees.
No, not too much, I don't think. I mean, they get most of their canon from the trilogy stuff, I assume, and off they go.
So I think that's enough Star Wars. What are some video games? Because I know you played a couple of new ones, and I played an older. I mean, it's just last year's, but
new to you,
new to me,
and new to me. Yeah, do you want to start or shall I?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Well, we talked about it last time. Last cast that was up, of course. Forza Horizon is now officially out since I think it was the 23rd. I want to say of October. And no, I have no problem with it.
Zero?
Nope. I was worried about this whole festival idea, and that really screwing with the gameplay. But really, it has nothing to do with it. There's 3 radio stations that are festival radio stations that you can listen to, and there's actual DJs, which is actually kind of cool. But other than that, it's just race and speed. You can free drive all over the place. As the game progresses, you start off, you're just a loser. You got to get your first car, you get a wristband, and as you get race points, you get different colored wristbands. And of course, the races get more money, slightly harder. And every color wristband has a star that you can challenge at some point.
I love that you haven't quite grasped the concept of this audio medium and keep making air quotes to people who can't see it.
It's more for myself, just to keep the flow going. So you beat the stars, you can take their cars. There's illegal street races going on that you can participate in. There's speed cameras and speed traps that, like, if you go through a speed camera at 120 miles an hour and anybody that's on your friends list that beats, it tells you right then and there.
Yeah, that was in the demo. I flew through one.
So that's there. And the speed zones, which are the kind of like a point-to-point speed camera, which gives you your average speed. And it's just, it's like Forza Motorsport went home, took off its tie, and relaxed. That's what Forza Horizon is.
Just street versus circuit.
Yeah. And there are circuit races. I mean, it's a really huge mix of circuit races, like little tiny tracks, and point-to-points. Some of them have different terrain, like dirt and stuff, so you've got to have a good all-wheel drive car, blah, blah, blah. It's fun. I'll give it 8.5.
That's not bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we going to be able to do our big online races like we do with regular Forza?
8-person online. So whenever, I mean, there are some online achievements, so it will...
God, I hate online achievements.
They're basic ones, win this race, win 25 races, blah, 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 whatever. So, but it's fun. It's I haven't gotten into the painting like you and I would have in 3 and 4 Forza.
It's only been out for a week.
But it's
2
there.
weeks, I guess. 2 weeks now.
But it's there,
Yeah.
So you can do your painting. You can import your designs from Forza 4.
So all I'm going to see is the same designs I saw in Forza 4 over and over again.
Probably. The marketplace for looking at designs isn't as good as it was in Forza 4, but so I mean, like I say, they're just little nitpicky things like that are what drag it down that 1.5 to 8.5. So I think it was fantastic. My dad also has it, loves it. Jeff has it, loves it. So although Jeff's already done with it, I think so.
Already? It's not even 2 weeks old.
He's got 890 achievement points. He's only got the online ones left. So. I'm mired down around 500 and something. So, but
apparently, I haven't grasped the audio medium either because I just rolled my fucking eyes.
Yeah. Although you went with the sigh at the same time, so
I don't know. It was an audible sigh though.
Yeah. So yeah, 8.5. Buy it, try it, rent it. If you can find a place to rent games these days.
Can you still rent games?
I don't know.
You used to be able to at like the Rogers video stores
and Blockbuster. You could rent them at Blockbuster, but of course they're all gone. So. Yeah. Maybe a Video Difference if you live near one and they still have them. So, yeah, definitely give it a try. Other game, I haven't played it as much yet, but I got Assassin's Creed 3 the week after Forza Horizon came out. Those of you who have played all the games before, Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, and then the expansions, if you will, Brotherhood and Revelations, you can forget most of that because you get a brand new character, Connor something. He's a British guy, and so far so good. The parkour style is still there. You can run and climb and jump off whatever the hell you want, pretty much. The stealth is good. I don't like the gunplay as much. That's I guess what I liked about the first couple is there weren't. I mean. Now there's muskets, so when you take a shot, you actually have to reload. And there's a little timer on the screen that's going up as you're jamming the stick down the barrel. It's pretty funny, but
I jam the stick down the barrel a lot too.
Yeah, I know you do. So from what I've played so far, I mean, you play kind of like a prologue. You're on a ship sailing to America. You get to America, and off you go. I mean, Desmond, the principal character from the present, is still in there, so now his father's made an appearance, and he's helping out, and it's good. If you like Assassin's Creed, you'll like it. So I haven't played enough of it to give it a full rating yet, but I'll give it another 8.5 as well.
They're making a movie
till I play more of it. So
I think they got Michael Fassbender is gonna play the lead. I don't know.
I know that name, but
you would know him well. I would call you out on knowing him from Shame because he shows his dick in the first couple of minutes of the movie. But he's
I don't even know what the movie called Shame is.
He's Magneto in X-Men First Class.
Okay, I've seen that, but
I think you've just gone and looked at the clip of the dick myself. But even if you haven't watched the movie,
I've never even heard of a movie called Shame.
But so that's all I know about the movie is that Michael Fassbender's going to be playing the lead in it. But I don't know who they're going to use as the lead. Probably the original character, not the new character.
It's hard to say because there were 3 games that involved the second character. So I think true fans of the game would probably want the first character.
Oh, fuck the true fans.
I can't even remember his name.
Maybe they'll just make a whole different guy. That would piss people off even more.
That's also possible, yeah. So, I don't know.
I'll play
Movie,
it as
Assassin's Creed, don't care.
I'm gonna play the game as much. I'll play Assassin's Creed 3 as much as I played all the other Assassin's Creed games.
Which is 0.
0.
Which is too bad because you like Splinter Cell. It's
I
like
know.
It's like Splinter Cell and
I just never
times.
bother. I don't. Yeah, but I usually, for the most part, racing games or sports games, something that I can play over and over again. You know how many times I've played the demo for Madden 2013?
A few, I'm guessing.
Oh my God. I have the 49ers spanking the Giants in that demo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's who you have to. You have to be.
That, or you can play as the Washington Redskins versus the Seahawks.
Yeah, okay.
I think I did that once and took Washington just so I could play as RG3. Yep. But no, I mean, I'll never take the Giants.
Yeah.
Ever.
Fuck Manning.
But I can just get San Francisco spanking them, sending it out to Randy Moss constantly. Just
I was gonna say,
runs like a sumbitch.
Must have their updated rosters with the new guys.
Yeah.
So it's got Moss and Manningham and
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's great. I've been playing the Silent Hill game from last year, Downpour. Just beat it today, actually.
Good.
I got one of the 5 endings.
And was it a positive ending?
Yes.
All
Yes,
right,
it
good.
was.
Good.
I think I made my decision on which way I was going to go with the ending right from the get-go with it. Because you had
Can you tell that early? That
I could, yeah. It was a pretty obvious choice, even though your choice I don't think mattered. Because the same thing happened no matter what you would have chosen.
yeah, okay.
So, but I made it pretty early on. It was a weird game. It was a good game. It was a creepy game.
Well, that's
And that's what I want out of Silent Hill.
if the Silent Hill game's not creepy, they failed.
Yeah. If the Silent Hill game's not creepy, they call it The Room.
Yeah, exactly.
That game was,
It had okay points, but it also at the same time was really.
that seemed like a
stupid.
game's like, hey, we have this game. Why don't we call it Silent Hill? It's kind of like they do with all the Hellraiser sequels. It's like we have these scripts. Let's just add Pinhead in at a couple of points, and now it's a Hellraiser movie.
Speaking of Hellraiser, I don't want to get off topic of Silent Hill. We'll get back to it in a second. But I don't know. A lot of people out there, of course, know who Deadmau5 is.
Yes.
The DJ with his giant mouse helmet. I don't know if it was actually him or somebody really creative, but they made a combination Pinhead / Deadmau5 Halloween costume. And it was amazing. Picture Pinhead's face inside Deadmau5's mask, peeking out glowing orange from inside the giant mouse helmet.
That's kind of cool.
With the long leather. Best Halloween costume this year I've seen. It was fantastic.
Not too shabby. But, Silent Hill Downpour, definitely the best one I've played in a while, because The Room sucked. Homecoming was just confusing and long.
Yeah, and Homecoming got really stupid if you got hold of that alien laser.
I don't even know if I finished that one. I think I got to the point where it's just like, this is just dumb. The puzzles in this one were ridiculously hard. I have to go back through on hard. I just played on normal, but I can't imagine what they're gonna be like on hard.
And what kind of are we talking? Like diverse weapons, or is it a true Silent Hill, like a bat and a pistol?
There's a lot of little things laying around, like bricks and sticks and pipes
So
to use.
lots of beating weapons.
Yep, and you'll eventually find a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
You don't find very much ammo for it.
No, that's typical Silent Hill.
You get a shotgun at one point,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think I ever found ammo for it until I got to later in the game, and then I got nothing but shotgun ammo, and you needed it.
Yeah.
It tend to be like a lot of Silent Hill games. You get the weapons as you need the better weapons.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of side quests in the game too.
Which I find odd. I mean, maybe it's because I haven't played a Silent Hill in quite a while. Like, I don't remember side quests in Silent Hill.
No,
It was just pretty much you're always progressing
yeah.
through the story, no matter what.
But a lot, I think they might add to the story. Some of them add to the story.
Yeah.
Some of them are just stuff you do, like because obviously you can't get into every house. But you
Obviously.
get into like some buildings, and it's like kind of like an apartment building where there's like 4 rooms in the house, and it's generally stuff you have to do within that house.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't even have to leave to finish everything.
Oh, right on.
And it's usually to open a safe so you can find another weapon and stuff like that. So, not overly complicated. Some of them are ridiculously complicated and all over the place, and I'll probably have to use a walkthrough when I do it on hard to find them all.
Yep.
Because I don't like to use walkthroughs, especially the first time through. I'll almost never use it.
First time through.
But when I'm going through to do the achievements, which what the second time will be, I'll definitely do it because I'd like to see some of the unfinished story I think that I saw.
Good.
So I liked it. I'm not going to give it out of 10 because either you like Silent Hill games or you don't. If you like Silent Hill games,
you like them all except for the room.
Except for the room.
Yeah.
So if you like Silent Hill games, get it. It's worth it. If you don't like Silent Hill games, what are you, fucking stupid?
Yeah.
They're fun and they're scary.
Exactly.
And there's puzzles.
Just the cat in the locker. I don't know if it was the first or the second one.
Oh, I had a moment like that in this game. Even the second time. Because I was playing it last night. And after it, I stopped just because it was just that time to stop. And it's just like, all right, done. And I had to go do it again today. And it startled me the second time. Even though I know it's going to happen.
Excellent.
So that is it for for Geek News.
Geek News is done.
Finally. The geek has subsided.
Oh,
the Halo countdown. Because
gonna
Halo
say,
comes out on
you
Tuesday.
forgot to
I almost
mention
forgot the Halo.
countdown.
Time we're recording on Saturday night because, well, we have absolutely nothing else to do. We got 2 days, 4 hours, and 19 minutes, which doesn't make sense to me for what time it's being released. Are they not releasing it at midnight?
There.
Because 2 days, 4 hours, and 18 minutes from now is 4 o'clock in the morning. Because it's 11:38 now.
Oh, well, maybe that's like mountain time or
Something stupid time.
something time. Yeah.
Pacific time?
You think they'd gear the countdown towards everybody's...
I bet you know what? I bet you they don't release it here at midnight. I bet you they're not going to release it until the Pacific Coast hits midnight
no.
as well.
No. It's already confirmed.
Is it? All right.
Oh, yeah. I know you're not excited, but...
You know what? I am slightly more excited after the last trailer I saw.
It's pretty cool, eh?
When they're putting them together, putting the armor on, and then the other guy shows up, and all of a sudden there's just the burning skull. I want to find out what the guy with the burning skull. I won't buy the game, but I was sure as hell borrow it from you when you're done with it.
There you go. Yeah. I am excited. I think it'll be fun.
Time to ease the geek away, and I think first when we started a good trend, because we have to assume that not everyone listening knows us.
Yep.
And we need those people to get to know us a little bit better.
Some of those people are lucky, though.
Oh, I would love not to know us. I mean, I can't imagine the stress of having to put up with us.
Yeah.
Together, separate.
What are those two jackasses going to do now?
Yeah. So we figure we'll tell a few little personal stories. Let everyone see the inner us.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made the hit parade.
Guys like me, we had it made. Those were the days.
They are probably going to sue the shit out of us for that intro, but hey, what the hell?
Yeah.
We'll find a better one. That one worked. You know, it's kind of like reminiscing about an old days kind of TV theme song, so.
How long does it take for something to become public domain? It's like 70 years or something.
Oh, way longer than All in the Family's been around.
So we can't get by with that.
No.
As an excuse. Oh,
No.
well.
We do talk about the news, so maybe we can get away with being a news program.
That's true.
So next week, all audio, all the time.
Fantastic.
So what you got for a story there, Biatch?
Personal story time. Yeah, so for those who do know us, they know that I like to get hurt.
You do?
'Cause
And
it
hurt in
happens-
stupid
'cause
ways.
it happens not as much anymore that I'm an older man and a parent, but many years ago, early on in our tenure as friends and our big group of fellas, we decided, let's start playing street hockey. We had a perfect parking lot for it. It was behind Jeff Frederick's house at the library in Bedford. So we played a few times. We got some guys from Pizza Hut and all of our friends. I hurt my ankle really bad. Sprained it, I thought. Whatever. Stopped playing for the rest of the day. This is just a quick synopsis leading up to something. A couple weeks later, maybe a week later, we go up to the racetrack that we all volunteered at for a while.
I miss those days.
Exactly. And I was on corner 10 at that time. Big accident. Started running. Caught the same ankle in a gopher hole. Hurt it again. Had to keep running to pick up the guy off the racetrack, mind you. And again, sprained the ankle. I'd done it 1,000 times as a kid, skateboarding and playing soccer and whatnot, so I didn't think anything of it. And again, a little while later, Mr. Watts here decides that it's time to introduce more than just himself to karaoke. So he started to convince some of us to come down. This was back when Crazy Craig hosted at...
Sure, it wasn't Ed hosting when you did this?
No, it was Craig.
All right.
Because it was very early on. And, it was Craig. And so we all started, a few of us started to go down. I went down, and I can't remember who else, but anyway. So finally got the courage to sing some songs, got into it, and then one night I decided let's sing Love Shack, which was one of my favorites.
Fuck, I hate that song.
Yeah, but it's fun to sing.
Yeah, but host karaoke as long as I did,
Yeah,
you learn to hate stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
That and American Pie. And anything by the Eagles.
I hated American Pie long before anybody ever
true.
sang it at karaoke. I think
Desperado.
Root Beer Fest at CPA ruined American Pie for me, stupid Mr. Burke. And yes, anything by the Eagles. I wish hell had never frozen over. But so singing along, getting into it, dancing, I jumped off the stage, and my toes hit my shin.
Ow.
Pretty much, at least that's what it felt like. And I tried to take a step, and I almost fell over. So I started to hop. Luckily, there was like a fold-up table on the floor for some reason, so I just kind of casually hop-walked over to that table and kind of leaned against it. Kept on singing, wondering what the hell is wrong with me the entire time that I'm singing this song. Finally, it ends, and I hop-walk over to the only sober person in the building that I knew, Mr. Jason Hare. I said, Jason Hare, how would you like to take me to the hospital? Why?
See, and the fact that it's Jason Hare that takes you to the hospital is my proof and point that it's Ed's show and not Craig's show.
Why?
Because Jason wouldn't have been around that long ago when Craig
it was all Frederick Street.
Craig wasn't hosting when we were on Frederick Street.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
I never went when I went to Rutledge Street.
All right, well, Ed's going to yell at us on Monday when he hears the story and goes, motherfuckers, that was my show.
I'm pretty sure it was Craig's. Because it was really early on in karaoke life. And I did go to Craig's show a few times.
We'll find out.
We will. So Jason Hare threw me in his greenish Ford Tempo or Topaz, whatever the hell
It was a
drove
Topaz.
Whatever he drove at the time. We went to Emerge, and what did Mark do? Mark broke his Achilles tendon singing karaoke.
I don't think you broke it. What did you do to your Achilles tendon?
Well, that's just it. See, I spent a few hours in Emerge. They didn't give me any painkillers, and my drunk started to wear off, so it started to hurt. So I got yelled at by nursing staff for pacing back and forth in the wheelchair they gave me. I'm like, well, what do you want? It really hurts. So anyway, they sent me home in a temporary cast with the intention of coming back the next morning, which I did. And that resulted in surgery because I shredded my Achilles tendon, apparently. So, there you have it. 6 weeks. Well, no, my choices were have surgery and be in a cast for 4 to 6 weeks. Or let it see if it will heal on its own and be in a cast for at least 10 weeks. And if that was my choice, they said that I may get back to 20% functionality. I said, why do you even give me the choice? Like, that's just
a stupid choice.
It's stupid. Because they said, with surgery you'll be like 80 to 90%. Duh. So anyway, obviously I took the surgery. Went home in a plaster cast for a while. After a couple of weeks, I finally smartened up and got a fiberglass cast so I could drive my stick shift, because that was my clutch foot, and delivered pizzas with a sewn together tendon and a fiberglass cast. It was interesting.
It was fun to come over to your place and watch you have to come down the stairs on your ass.
Yeah, that was
like a 2-year-old.
the best part of the entire ordeal was showering, because I couldn't. I had to I guess I sort of could, but no matter how I did it, my cast leg had to hang outside the tub, whether I was laying in it or trying to stand in it, whatever. It was just stupid. It was a terrible 6 weeks.
Thankfully, our tub at that apartment was pretty big.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Because we did have that night, we were watching Cool Runnings and didn't believe you could fit 4 people in a tub to practice bobsledding.
That's true.
So 4 of us got in the tub to prove you could do it.
Cool Runnings. What a great movie.
So our tub was big enough for 4. It wasn't big enough for comfortably for 4, but we got 4 in it. Sober.
Well, I can't imagine a bobsled's very comfortable.
No.
So
A lot of men in spandex.
Exactly.
Crammed in there.
Too many proximity potatoes going on there. So that's my idiot story. That's one of my many injuries over the years.
Sadly, my story this week involves my nudity yet again. Eventually, I'm going to have a story that doesn't involve me taking my clothes off.
I don't think you will.
You're right. But this one was done sober, though. Does that help at all?
It still ends in nudity.
It's true. We had a friend who was going to NASCAD, and she needed...
That's the Nova Scotia College of Arts in Despair, for those of you that don't know.
So she needed guys to stand naked in a shower and take photos. And that,
yes.
And that
I remember that project.
I don't know what the project was for or symbolized, but she was having trouble getting guys to do it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And since was the dude at that time who would go to the bathroom to pee and then just decide I no longer needed clothes and would just wander back out naked into the party, it seemed like, why the hell not? Plus, didn't want her to fail her project because I wouldn't take off my clothes. I would have felt bad about that. Like, how many times have I done it for no reason? Here's an actual reason to do it.
That's true.
So once I got there, I was actually kind of nervous for some reason. But it's like,
But you've never been filmed completely nude before.
no, I think at that point the only picture that was taken of me while naked, I had a sock on.
Exactly.
Every other time there was never film proof of it.
Exactly.
It was just things of legend.
Yeah.
I hear once. So did the picture. She asked if I I think once the project was done, she asked if I wanted to see my picture. I was like, no. It's like, I know how horrible I look naked. I don't need to see a big blown up
mirror.
I don't need to see a big blown up picture of it. I said, I have 2 questions. She went, okay. I said, was I the fattest? And she said, no. I said, good. I said, was my dick the smallest? And she said, no. And I said, good.
Fantastic.
Now,
I don't even know who else participated in that. I know
nobody you know.
Her boyfriend did, didn't he?
That's the only one you would know.
All right.
But once she got her website together and started putting her portfolio up on it, my picture's there.
Did your penis show up on the internet?
My penis is on the internet.
Fantastic. That'll never go away, you know.
I know. That's why we're not going to say who the friend is or the name of her website.
Yeah, but those listening who do know us already know.
Yes.
And the strange ones are looking for that website
Right now. It's hard to miss because you just click through and wham, there it is. I think I'm the cover for that section.
Fantastic.
So it's pretty awesome. So that's my Adam naked yet again, but sober, so it's okay. My kids are going to find that picture one day.
They are.
Spectacular.
You're going to need a couple of raises between then and now because one of them is going to require therapy as a result.
I think both could.
It's true.
Maybe the internet will be gone by then. It just came out of nowhere. It could just go away again. Maybe we'll have different ways of doing things. All right, so that's it for personal stories.
It is, yeah.
You injured, me naked.
Yep.
That sounds like a typical Friday night, Saturday night.
Yep.
Now we actually have to do news, so we can get away with playing these clips that may not be licensed, but we might be able to get away with because we're a news show.
Exactly.
So news from around the world time. What'd you bring me there, Fat Daddy?
I did some scouring as usual. Went over my favorite news sites in different places looking for not always funny, but interesting, sad, whatever. And I found a story. We've all heard the different stories of people getting in trouble with whether it be the music industry, the film industry, for downloading property, movies, music, whatever. And people
Pornography?
yeah, and people getting charged ridiculous amounts of money when they're found to be guilty, like thousands of dollars per song or whatever. So the story I read this week was the guy who was a member of a website, and basically it boils down to he downloaded and watched 10 movies from this website, but like an idiot decided to share them on BitTorrent as well. Now the problem with that is, unlike where they just have a phantom IP address in a lot of these cases down in the States, because this guy downloaded them first from this pay website, there was a code embedded in each video.
Like when they send movie screeners for like the Oscars and stuff.
So they know for a fact that his account downloaded these movies. Anyway, so 10 movies, bang, out on the BitTorrent. A judge, because there was no ifs, ands, or buts that this guy did this, awarded, I think it's called Flava something, like the movie company, Flava Studios or something like that, $1.5 million in damages.
Well, where's that dude gonna get the money?
Yeah, well, that's just it. That's it's the max amount, $150,000 per movie that this guy now has to pay because he downloaded and then shared them. It basically, they even worked it out on the website too, $435 per download that resulted in him putting them on BitTorrent. And that basically boils down to it, my question. Okay, so the judge says you have to pay this movie company $1.5 million. Okay. A lot of people aren't going to make $1.5 million over their lifetime when you're talking $20,000, $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
Just garnish his wages forever. Like, I mean, they'll take X amount % forever. Would be how I imagine they would do it.
That's the only thing I could come up with. I mean, what else are you going to do? I mean, if he wasn't married and had no kids, let's say, could he just say, you know what, I can't do it, send me to jail? Could he do that and go to like some white collar jail?
Nope. I don't think so, because, I mean,
What if he just refused to work and became homeless?
they would. Well, I guess maybe then. I don't know how the
Right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
Anyway,
It's like I don't want 25% of my wages taken. I think I'll go live in a box. Like, I don't think that's not the path I would ever take.
No, but just if you were one of those really spiteful people in protest, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of person that's going to do that isn't the kind of person that's going to download 10 movies that are all porn and put them on the internet. However, but it's getting pretty. The interwebs and the BitTorrents are getting pretty dangerous, kiddos. So watch your step.
Yeah, especially if there's certain movies you can tell which movies they're following, because there's about 1,000 fake ones.
There was a huge case. What was it? Thousands of people were busted with the first Expendables. Yeah. So far up here north of the border, we've been lucky, but
It's still not illegal for us, I don't think yet.
I think
It's getting
gray.
close.
I think it's gray.
Yeah.
But
So
that-
as long as
that's-
we're not reselling, then we're okay.
yeah, that's my thing. I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. 10 movies equals 100 or 1.5 million.
I've got a little story, and it's little enough that I may have a second one.
All right.
So here's the headline. Caught me right away. Woman, 29, arrested after being spotted masturbating inside Starbucks in Florida.
I read that one too.
A woman who was spotted masturbating in a Starbucks was arrested yesterday after Florida cops searched her purse and found a pipe with cocaine residue. Now, okay, I get that she was maybe masturbating in a coffee shop.
That
But-
itself is strange enough.
I assumed it was in the bathroom.
As did I when I first saw the headline.
Police were summoned to the Bradenton business by the staff at Starbucks regarding a female that was in their lobby and was masturbating.
Mm-hmm.
So she was in the lobby.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't even hiding the fact.
No.
Like, not even at a table.
No.
And when the officer questioned the woman, Jennifer Piernan, she reported that she was waiting to go to a local hospital. So
For crotch itch?
I don't know. But it's like, man, I got to go to the hospital. I should stop at this Starbucks. It's like, while I'm looking at this menu of overpriced coffee, I'm going to touch myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, even I don't have the urge to touch myself while at a Starbucks.
Public period. How's that?
Public, I know sometimes in public. When I ride on the bus, I always wanted to be a bus driver for the first. As soon as I hit puberty, it's like, I want to be a bus driver. A cop offered her a ride to the hospital, but asked to first check her purse, to which she agreed. The officer discovered a glass stem in her purse, and it tested positive for cocaine residue.
Very nice.
Yeah, she denied ownership of the pipe, of course, and was arrested for possession of narcotics and drug paraphernalia. And she's being held in lieu of bond.
The news site that I frequent the most, that tries to make the headlines funny before you read the article, said, that's frothy. Women caught getting jiggy with it at Starbucks.
All right. Quick one. I think I'm just going to read the headline on this one. Oh, and the girl masturbating one had a picture of her. It had her mugshot.
It sure did.
And it's not the girl I would have wanted to see.
They never are.
No.
The teachers that sleep with students and people that caught getting doing stupid stuff like that in public are never the ones you want to see.
Now, remember that old show that used to be on, like, Showcase? It was like Kink or something. It was all...
With Robin Black.
Yes.
Few episodes,
Yeah.
anyway.
But it was all kinky Canadians.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the most limp dick show I've ever seen, because there wasn't one attractive person doing anything kinky across this whole fucking country.
No. It was a pretty terrible show.
It's like, oh, these ones are in the bondage. It's like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm just going to ease myself out and, oh, look at them. They're 600 pounds each. Wah, wah.
Yeah. The last thing you want to see is a 600-pound person dressed up like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, getting smacked by another 600-pound person in a corset. Where the fuck did she get that corset?
Oh, that's self-made. You know that.
Like, how many cows had to die for that gimp suit?
Definitely self-made.
So, just the headline from this other one. Suspect denies owning cocaine in his butt. But arrestee copped to pot cops found in his crack. So I guess between his cheeks he had some pot,
Okay.
which he says was mine.
Oh, yeah, that's my pot for sure.
But the cocaine inside of his anal cavity
How did that get there?
was not his. So, I mean, I could read. This story is actually quite long, but I'm not going to bother reading it because it's just. I think the headline was enough on that.
Really does say it.
I don't. Like,
Oh.
it's one thing to deny the coke is yours, but when you've already copped to the weed being yours, that is just between your cheeks.
Yeah.
I don't understand why
Maybe
deeper.
that was a hopeful decoy.
Oh.
You know, like they find the pot, they'll stop searching.
Yeah.
You know, they won't,
Instead of
won't
just
break out
continue to.
Jellyfinger.
I would think that would make a cop search more. Myself.
Well, yeah, but idiots don't think like that.
It's true.
Especially because
it's damn true.
He probably left a little string tied to the baggie.
Time for some real news. NHL lockout day. Who fucking cares?
50-something. If not, it's very close to 50.
Yeah. I'm just getting more and more pissed, especially because Toronto finally gets the Winter Classic. And against Detroit...
Which is what it should be. It should be original 6 teams.
And two teams that have a huge rivalry.
Or teams that care about hockey that much. Anyway.
And it got canceled on Friday.
Yep.
Because first payment was due to the University of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So, and since they're nowhere near it, they had to cancel it because they don't want to make a payment.
And then not have the game.
Right.
Yeah.
So, there's Toronto out. They'll probably get it next year, though. It'll probably go back to Michigan State University next year.
I would hope so.
For the 2014 and be Toronto and Detroit again.
Yeah, I can't see them skipping over that. That would
No. But I mean, now I'm a year away instead of 2 months away.
Yep, it's true. I kind of have just given up on even listening to stuff about the lockout. Like when the quiz comes up on TSN or they start talking about it, I just turn to something else.
Well, they keep reporting on stuff and there's no news.
No, I mean I don't even know what they did, but apparently the owners did something recently that's supposed to be again another good starting point, but it's not actually an offer.
What it was
something to do with payments or something.
It's
the
something
players
about
wanted.
They won't lose revenue if they get hurt. Where that money comes from.
Yeah, okay.
That'll come from the owner's share. Like if a player gets injured,
yeah,
he'll still get paid, but that money then comes from the owner's share instead of from the player's share of the whatever percentage of profits they decide on. So I don't know. I can't remember what it's called because I keep tuning out when they talk about it because I'm really not at the point of caring until I see the words offer made. Then I'll tune in to find out what the offer was and who it's my turn to be pissed at, which is still the players.
Do they get? I mean, I know it seems to be in other sports they get paid fully if they're injured. I mean, does that happen in all of them? I assume it does.
Yes. I don't really know if that. I think it happens in every sport.
That doesn't make sense to me either.
Well, I mean, there was one sports league where you didn't get paid if you got hurt, and that lasted a year. That was the XFL.
It's true. That was part of the top 10 the other day.
That the league was a good idea.
Yeah, it was.
It just had the wrong team behind it trying to present it. You can't have the guy who's behind a fake sport
trying to make a real sport.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would have been definitely better served with a different owner for sure.
But it was a great idea. You get paid.
I watched most of that season.
So did I. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the games. He Hate Me actually got a contract in the NFL.
He sure did.
And he wore the He Hate Me name patch.
So did a couple of other guys, I think. I don't think he was the only one, but
he's the only one you can really remember.
Well, yeah, exactly.
He had to take the He Hate Me patch off before the game started, but he used to wear it to the field to start.
I never understood that unless it's worked into the contract, and I assume it must be. But it doesn't make sense to me that they get paid in full.
Yeah, that's your contract. But it doesn't go against. But if they're out for the year, it doesn't go against your cap hit, though.
That makes more sense.
Like once you assign someone to injured reserve, it no longer.
Yeah, injured reserve. Yeah,
it no longer
necessarily have to be for the year. That can be for a few months.
But I mean, if you're on injured reserve for the whole year, that's no longer a cap hit for you, so you can get someone in to replace them. There's a whole bunch of stuff with the CHLPA.
Oh, that's weird, man.
Two guys using the same name.
Yeah,
one of them's someone who's
Gumley. Gumley's the suspect name. He's apparently two people. I want to say Larry, but that could be the brother to the suspect guy.
Well, one of the guys using the name they think is someone who's not allowed to do anything with CHL hockey until like next year or something.
That's
because
one
of
of them.
fraud. Yeah,
It's one of them, yeah.
but George LaRocque stepped down the other day. So I mean, they're just
But he's also denying everything that he said this and that when other people are saying that he did say this and that. And
so it's just seems to be a giant clusterfuck. But I mean, that's what I don't think junior players should have a union.
yeah, I mean, aren't they technically amateurs?
Yes and no. They get paid a little
But there's
bit.
no way they should have a union.
No. Because I think a lot of their stuff gets paid for in like college tuition and stuff like that,
Yeah. I mean,
and other things like that.
I was impressed enough to hear that most of the players, like, I mean, for some reason, I don't know why Cape Breton was such a big part of the whole thing, because they talked about the Screaming Eagles a lot in the queue, but all of them were like, no, we don't want it. So,
Well, I mean, for our teams, like basically the teams that aren't in Quebec, it doesn't really matter because we play in bigger stadium or bigger arenas, more people, more money for transportation. I mean, you got to think some of the Quebec teams are playing in arenas for like 2,500 people.
yeah, so it's Cape Breton, aren't they?
No, Cape Breton's playing in Sydney Center 200. It's got to be bigger than that, more than 2,500 people.
I can't imagine it's too many more, though. It's not like I don't think we're talking Metro Center.
No, we're not talking Metro Center, but we're talking like.
Not that that's any prized possession.
But we're talking halfway between the Metro Center and 2,500. I mean, the Mooseheads have the best arena because it's for professional hockey, right?
Well, also debatable.
Well, it's had professional games in it before.
It's true. Yeah, but so is Cape Breton,
It's true.
I think. But yeah, that was. I don't even know why it was even brought up. The CHL needing a union. That's just has the potential to turn 16, maybe even as young as 15-year-olds into jerks a lot earlier.
Yeah. And it means prices will go up.
Yep. Which is what you don't want from a junior league. I mean,
No.
that's where
Especially when you have teams playing in a 2,500 seat arena. You can't charge people more.
That's where some people, that's the only place they get their hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, besides TV like us, but.
I mean, that's basically what you get at junior games. You get people who want to go see hockey,
Yeah.
and the teenage girls because it's teenage players. I mean, that's what the crowd is at a junior game.
Yeah.
People who just want to watch hockey, or the teenage girls who are there because it's teenage
They're
players.
like teenage boys.
Right.
Exactly.
Definitely don't need a union. I don't think, anyways.
No. I don't think once they clear up who the mystery men are, well, we won't hear from this ever again.
No, I don't think so.
At
least for another few years, because it's too shady right now.
Yeah.
So they'll have to kill it.
Absolutely.
I really don't have any other news I want to talk about.
No, that was it for me. I thought the porn story was funny, and I almost chose the Starbucks story as my story. So obviously we both thought that one was funny.
Well,
I mean that's just hilarious. So that's all I got this week. I mean, nothing major happening.
all right. I think it's time for some movies.
Movies.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Now, I think that intro is public, so we can't get sued over it.
I would agree with that. That's been used in everything.
Yeah, but everybody else could have paid rights for it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
that's
like
true.
it's not like it's Happy Birthday, which we're never going to sing, because the rights for that is ridiculous. That's why movies don't even sing Happy Birthday or TV shows.
Happy Birthday's not public domain.
No.
Really?
And it's one of the most ridiculously priced things. It's like trying to get a Beatles song.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. That's why you'll never hear them sing Happy Birthday in TV and movies. And I think some TV shows even make fun of it. They'll start to sing and like, nope, stop. I watched a few movies this week. I figure, hey, we're doing a podcast. What a perfect excuse to watch movies and consider it research.
Exactly. It's just like surfing the internet and playing video games.
Exactly.
Perfect research.
It's now our job.
Yep.
We don't get paid for it, but that's okay.
So technically it's a hobby.
Technically, it's just for the love.
Yep.
Amazing Spider-Man. Watched it. Loved it. Way better than... I hate the fact that I like it more than Sam Raimi movies.
Yeah, that's a little depressing.
But when I look back, I mean, I know I hated the third one.
Yep.
And I was okay with the second one.
Yeah.
Except for the amount of Tobey Maguire FaceTime.
Yes, that's true.
It's like, hey, look, I got the suit on. Let's rip the fucking mask off for no reason.
Absolutely.
They're like, I want people to see. I want my bitches to see me in the suit.
You know, you can. It's almost like you can tell an agent had their fingers in the script.
Yeah. And the first one, I've got things about the first one that I love. I love that they kept the wrestling storyline with him making his suit that way. And then the fact that the wrestler's Randy Savage just makes me happy.
Yeah,
so,
well.
Just little things like that. And me, myself, I know you hate the fact in those movies, that he shot the web and it wasn't the little things that he designed to shoot.
A cartridge, yeah.
Yeah. I like that because I think eventually Spider-Man did that in the comics.
None of the ones I read, but anyway.
I think so. And plus it makes him more of a spider. Like, the only thing that makes him a spider was that he could walk up walls.
And that he could, lift 10 times his weight or whatever a bug can do.
But I like the fact that just like I like Wolverine having bone claws.
Nah, I think that's stupid too.
I think they did that in the comics too at one point.
At one point they did, yeah.
I think it was just so Magneto could steal the adamantium from him.
There you go.
But I like him having bone claws because it gives him something to have besides healing until he gets his skeleton. But whatever.
Yeah.
I liked Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, there's a couple things I don't like. I didn't really like how the lizard looked.
Yeah, he does look kind of dumb.
I thought he kind of looked like how I would think they would make Killer Croc look in a Batman movie.
Yep, which we'll probably never see, but...
Well, not in a Nolan-type one.
No.
But, I mean...
Do we really want, another Joel Schumacher one?
No, my God, no. But, I mean, the next one's kind of got to be... I mean, we're getting off topic of Spider-Man, but the next Batman series of films kind of has to go back to slightly campy. Because you're not going to top the seriousness, quote-unquote, real-world feel of the Nolan ones.
Unless there's somebody brave enough to try and top it.
Yeah, it takes some cojones.
It certainly would, drag on the floor cojones.
Yeah. But, I mean, Amazing Spider-Man was good. I liked it. I mean, he used the cartridges in this.
That's good.
Which I think the cartridges were just put in to show that he could do stuff. Because they didn't make him a super nerd in school.
Right.
I mean, they made him smart and able to figure shit out. But they showed him at the beginning like he had a little remote-controlled lock on his door. So it showed right from the beginning that he was good with gadgets.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Andrew Garfield was a little annoying at points.
Yeah.
But there was a really funny one. He's just swinging across the bridge and he just yells out, "I'm swinging here!" Like, I can't remember what movie is the Midnight Cowboy where he almost gets hit by the cab. I'm walking.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Yeah, well, same idea, only he's swinging. So it was funny.
Is that Midnight? Yeah, I think it is.
But I mean, he acted more like a teenager, right? I mean, because he's in high school for the entire movie. It's not like the Sam Raimi ones where he's in high school at the very beginning, and then very quickly he's out and at university.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's a 16, 17-year-old kid who can now do crazy parkour stuff.
And is it Emma Stone's the love interest in there?
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. And Gwen Stacy. I remember people bitching about that. It's like, no one remembers that Gwen Stacy's the original love interest for Peter Parker.
Yeah, but
I know everyone knows Mary Jane.
You say that, but Mary Jane was the predominant love interest for Peter Parker.
But she's not the first one.
But she's the predominant one.
So they went back to that. But I mean, Dennis Leary was good in it.
Yep.
I mean, everybody in it was good.
He's good in most things.
And I mean,
let's be fair.
It's true. I mean, Martin Sheen playing Uncle Ben. I mean,
interesting choice.
It's a good flick. I mean, I enjoy it more. I mean, plus I don't.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that because, as I've said before, I thought it was really stupid to reboot a movie that is less than 10 years old. But
yeah, but when you switch directors, you kind of have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you're switching directors and total cast, you can't really just continue on.
No, it's absolutely true. But it just,
I mean, and where could that possibly? Where did you have to go for that trilogy of movies?
They could have pretended the third one didn't happen and redo the entire Venom saga. Because that was terrible.
Topher Grace?
Exactly.
Hey, look, a wimpy Eddie Brock.
You know, if he could act, Brock Lesnar would have been an amazing Eddie Brock.
Yeah, because he's gigantic.
Exactly, and he has the buzz cut just like Eddie Brock and everything.
I don't think he can act, though. He can't cut a promo in wrestling. I imagine that. If you can't cut a promo in wrestling, I don't think you can act.
No, probably not. But to be fair, they could have, with the voice technology and whatnot, he didn't even have to do the lines for Venom, so that could have been.
It's true.
That could have been somebody else.
But then we would have been bitching about how much he sucked as Eddie Brock.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, it's a good flick. I can't wait for the next one. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a scene in the trailer where the guy pulls out the knife and he's just all wimpy. He's like, "Oh no, a small knife, my one weakness." I mean, even though you know that scene's coming, I still laughed in the movie at it because he's just.
That's like the Spider-Man from the comics, like
exactly.
A wise ass as well.
He's a teenager with superpowers.
Yeah,
and they did remember the first one where they have the upside down Spider-Man kiss, the iconic kiss.
Blah blah blah.
This one was way better because he's trying to tell Gwen halfway through the movie, spoilers, that he's Spider-Man, and he just can't get it out. And she kind of goes to walk away, and he just webs her around the waist, and pulls her in tango style and kisses her.
Excellent.
So I thought it was way better than the upside down Spider-Man kiss because she's actually kissing Peter Parker.
Yep.
So sorry for the spoilers, and I should have said it earlier. I tried to get through the whole thing without any spoilers, but
that's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
I mean, obviously, it's going to happen that he's going to tell her at some point in the movie. I mean, duh.
But it was good. I watch it again, and I look forward to a sequel.
Good.
Maybe give Andrew Garfield a haircut.
Okay.
Because he's got that big froey thing going on in it.
Yeah, he does.
Another remake I watched, Total Recall.
Colin Farrell.
Now, everyone was up in arms about a remake of Total Recall. Does no one remember the Schwarzenegger Total Recall? Because it's not a good fucking movie.
There's
no good Schwarzenegger movie.
I was going to say, it's good for a Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah.
It's an
80s action movie.
I mean, one of his... and you say, what you say is wrong. There is a good Schwarzenegger movie. Predator was pretty damn good.
All right.
And the first Terminator. I looked at.
You're right. The Terminator movies, even Terminator 2 is good.
Commando.
But those are fun, though.
Exactly. They're
Total Recall isn't fun, I don't think. As far as the Schwarzenegger version goes, Commando is straight out fucking fun.
Action movie, yeah.
Like, Total Recall tries to be something, I don't know.
Too cerebral.
Yeah. But, I thought the remake was really fucking good. And I'm pretty harsh on remakes. Even though I enjoy a lot of remakes, I'm pretty harsh going into them.
Well, you kind of have to be, especially if you like the original at all.
But when I was a kid, I did like the original.
Oh, so did I. That was great.
But we were kids. It's not like someone's remaking Casablanca or Lawrence of Arabia.
I don't know if anybody, again, speaking of giant cojones.
Exactly. But you're redoing Total Recall. The three-titted whore was way early in the movie, which was great.
Well, that's probably one of the most... There's two things that you can always bring to mind when you think of the original Total Recall? The triple-breasted whore, and when his disguise comes off.
The funny thing about the disguise coming off is they did it. Spoilers. Fuck. Is they did it, but they had a fat woman with red hair
Shut up.
in front of him.
Nice.
So you just assumed that was the
that.
disguise,
That's
and
brilliant.
then the Asian guy behind her starts. It's just instead of it being
More of a morph than a...
it's not a morph. It's more like a hologram projected
Right.
over your own face, and it starts fucking up. So you expect it to be the big red-headed woman in front.
That's amazing.
So I mean,
I love little nods like that.
exactly. But I mean, it mostly was a big chase movie.
It's kind of what Total Recall was.
Yeah, no mutants, no Mars.
Yeah. Oh, no Mars. Okay.
Nope. All done on Earth and floating Earth, because there's like city above the city kind
okay.
of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Colonies.
Right.
It was decent. I mean, Colin Farrell's a better actor than Schwarzenegger, so you could add a little bit more to it. He's not a great actor, so you can't add too much. Otherwise, he just looks like an idiot.
Yeah.
They added enough. Again, it's kind of like the first Total Recall. You don't know whether the movie is the movie or if the movie is his recall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the recall in this one,
Why do they spell it with a K? Do they ever bring that up?
that's just the name of the company. The
Okay.
company's called Recall.
Yeah.
It's more of a seedy company. It's not this big, beautiful space age company.
Right.
Like, I mean, you see the three-titted whore
Yep.
just before he goes into Recall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's in the back, down an alley. It's just one guy.
It's like a back alley surgeon.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like next to the tattoo place, right?
Nice.
But there was cool stuff. It was good. It's watchable. I mean, it's not going to win an award for anything, but it's definitely watchable.
Good.
And you know what? That's all I look for now is watchable.
Oh, absolutely. I don't...
I'm not, as long as I can make through it with going, fuck, how much longer?
Exactly.
Or wanting to turn it off. Like I was watching this one late and I fell asleep. And most movies I fall asleep during, I don't bother ever going back and finishing it. This one I went back, I woke up and it was the credits and it's like, fuck.
Damn it.
Skip back and finish watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not too many movies that I would do that for, but...
Like, you know how many movies are out there that I don't know how it technically ended?
yeah, probably a few.
I remember the first time Phenomenon, that John Travolta one.
Yeah.
It took me a year because I kept falling asleep during it because it's a great movie, but boring as fucking sin.
It really, yeah, it definitely has its boring
It took me
moments.
months to find out that he died. Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
You haven't seen Phenomenon yet? That's
You're on your fucking own.
It's part of the John Travolta death comeback where he died in every movie during his comeback.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction,
Broken Arrow.
that. Michael, he's already dead.
Yeah.
And then dies too.
Yeah, again.
Spoilers. But you should know this shit.
Yeah.
Movies are from the 90s.
It was before he got really strange and supposedly gay.
Weird. Boo. So, I mean, Amazing Spider-Man, watchable. Total Recall.
Watchable.
Amazing Spider-Man's more than... you know what? They're both more than watchable. But
Just give them good. They're good.
they're good.
All right.
Like, I mean, if someone says, you know what I'm going to watch tonight? I'm going to watch one of these movies. I'm not going to say, no, fucking don't watch those. They're shit.
Yeah.
I've also stopped giving my recommendations to people because people get pissed if you tell them to watch a movie and they don't like it.
Yep.
I don't have time for that type of hassle in my life anymore.
Mind you, I've been bugging a friend of mine that I used to work with to watch 28 Days Later for, I don't know, a good 3 years now, and she still hasn't.
I'll bug people for a certain movie if I know they love movies in that genre.
Yeah.
Like, if you have someone that doesn't like horror movies, don't fucking push horror movies on them because then they just get pissed at you.
Yeah, that's true.
You told me to watch this. It was shit. Like, I didn't. Someone gave me shit the other day for telling them to watch something. It's like, I didn't tell you to watch it. Like, you so did. And so finally, they figure out you told them to watch it. I can't remember even the name of the movie.
That's too bad.
But it's like, I've never seen that. Why would I tell you to watch it? So.
I think I didn't even remember trying to convince anybody to watch a movie recently.
I didn't make it through the third movie.
Oh,
because it's the sequel to a movie that's near and dear to my heart.
Oh,
One of my favorite low-budget, cheesy comedy horror movies of all time.
absolute top 3 of that category of all time, for sure.
Thanksgiving.
Yep. Thank you, Netflix, to introducing that to me.
It's all about a demon turkey.
Yep.
And he's the funniest demon turkey killer you will ever hear.
For those of you with Netflix, I don't think it's on there
It's not
anymore,
on
the
anymore.
first one. So if you're gonna watch it, you're gonna have to do some searching. Maybe check a video store, look online, whatever. But if you haven't seen the first one, you gotta. But anyway, continue with the other.
So Thanksgiving 3.
Yes, and you never explained when we were talking earlier before the cast what there is no Thanksgiving 2.
There is a Thanksgiving 2,
Uh-huh.
but it's only in the movie.
What?
The plot of the movie, it starts
Of Thanksgiving 3?
Of Thanksgiving 3,
Uh-huh.
it starts with Thanksgiving 2, Turkey in Space, which they talk about being the worst movie ever made,
Okay.
and that all the copies were destroyed but one.
Nice. Okay.
So Thanksgiving 3 is Turkey going to find that last copy to destroy it.
Nice. Okay.
It's filled with fucking puppets. Now, I'm pretty sure they made this movie, if I remember my little bit of research about it, for like $100,000. And I think they
pretty cheap.
raised the money on, what's that website?
Kickstarter?
Kickstarter. I think they raised it on Kickstarter. Because
Okay.
everyone loved Thanksgiving. I don't know
Anybody
any
who's seen it loves it.
Exactly. So, I mean, there's a pretty big cult following for this.
Yep.
But I just couldn't finish it, and I couldn't be bothered going to find out. Once I saw Turkey with his wife and child,
Did he have the same voice at least?
yes.
Okay, that's at least one redeeming quality.
Then he kills his wife just before he goes off to look for Thanksgiving 2, the last copy. But he takes his son with him because his son convinces him that he's evil as well. But then he kills his son at one point, or lets him die. It's after the mother feeds him his food, though, and pukes all over him. It's just...
You're not making any sense.
The movie doesn't make any sense. When they're showing Thanksgiving 2 at the beginning, Turkey in space...
You know what? I'd almost like to see that.
He has another ship with him. I can't. It's a puppet pie, like a pumpkin pie. He's
The ship is?
No, the guy driving the ship.
Oh.
Co-pilot.
That's brilliant.
His first name Pie, last name Lit. Pilot. And he's a pumpkin pilot.
Wow.
It's just but it does start off with a nipple shot, just like the first one. Except
Excellent.
it's a chicken space who gets shot in half, and it literally looks like two pieces of, like the film was cut in half and they moved, like you would see in an old Monty Python cartoon.
Brilliant.
Oh, it was so fucking bad, so bad that I when I woke up I was like, oh, I fell asleep like 45 minutes into this.
Oh well.
I don't think I need to see the last 45 minutes because there was too many fucking puppets. And I don't have anything against puppets because even today I convinced my daughter that we should watch Sesame Street Classics on Netflix.
Excellent.
So I got to see the guy with the 3 birthday cakes fall and smash them everywhere.
And when they're a little older, because it can freak small children out, you'll have to watch The Dark Crystal.
They've seen the Dark Crystal
Have
before. Yeah.
Good.
And I mean, I love Team America. I have nothing against puppets.
Yeah.
I have things against puppets in this movie. I mean, I know Turkey's a puppet in the first one.
Yeah, but that's just...
But now
that's
everything's
what makes it
puppets.
so
There's actually
endearing.
there's like a female lead puppet. She looks like a cheap Muppet.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure somebody at Henson should probably be suing over the Muppet look.
Nice.
Because if Apple can have a look and feel to their phone, there has to be a look and feel to fucking
How can
Muppets.
you patent corners? Give me a break.
So, Amazing Spider-Man, watch it. Total Recall, watch it. Thanksgiving 3, fuck it and go watch Thanksgiving again.
The first one.
Yeah.
And I said again before we started recording, I said I had nothing to do with movies this week. I lied. I cannot wait to see Lincoln. The new actual.
Oh, the actual Lincoln movie.
Not the like the Vampire Hunter or.
I still want to see the Vampire Hunter.
I mean, I do want to see that, but I've started to see some previews for Lincoln now.
With is
Daniel Day-Lewis once again. If I already see Oscar nod in his future for this movie.
You know what? I want to see Cloud Atlas. Is that wrong?
I've heard it's absolutely freaking terrible.
But it looks so neat.
Yeah,
So
it does.
interesting.
I thought it looked kind of interesting as well, but I just when I see commercials for Lincoln and I look at him as Lincoln, I'm like, wow, that's exactly what I picture Abraham Lincoln to look like.
Yeah. I started to watch Prometheus.
I haven't gone down that road yet.
It was late. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Haven't bothered getting back to
It's
it yet.
supposed to be really good.
It's supposed to be
I
excellent.
know a lot of people love it. So.
Michael Fassbender's in that, isn't he?
And I think so.
So there you go. Back to Fassbender.
Yeah. So that's my tidbit of movies. Just Lincoln looks amazing.
So I think that's it for this week, brother.
I think so. I think we're done. I think maybe next week I'll explain why we had to miss our actual second week of recording.
Yeah.
Because we could technically call that another personal story.
That's going to be a long personal story. Oh, no, that one's not too long. It's not like Moncton.
Pretty short.
So
I can keep that one pretty short.
you can follow us on Twitter at FairlyOddCast.
And on Facebook at facebook.com/FairlyOddCast.
And once we get a few more in the bags, we're going to be on iTunes.
Yep. And maybe even someday our own website.
Well, iTunes website will all come at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So that's it for this week. Peace out, brothers and sisters.
Have a fantastic week.